Dundee United and Aberdeen in the modern game are nothing like as potent as they were in the 1980s. But there's usually more than a bit of bite when these East Coast rivals find themselves on a collision course. United ended a run of 4 matches without a win by beating Inverness Cali Thistle 2-0 in the Highlands 6 nights ago. They make a couple of changes. Timothy van der Meulen replacing Paul Dixon, who is ill, and Prince Bwaben, who scored as a substitute at the Caledonian Stadium, starts this time with Stuart Armstrong dropping to the bench. Craig Conway has passed a late fitness test.
Well, always better with the points in the bag than the games in hand, but they've got plenty of games, certainly Dundee United, to catch up. Bit of inexperience there with Van der Meulen and Douglas. Good in midfield with Gomez, Robertson and Bwaben, and I think no doubt Aberdeen are a bit wary of Swanson, and especially Craig Conway in the wide positions.
For Aberdeen, similarly 2 changes, in their case from the side that drew 0-0 at St Johnstone on Wednesday of last week. Xander Diamond has recovered from an ankle injury. Derek Young is added to the equation too. Relegated to the bench are Rory McArdle and Nick Blackman, who has yet to click into gear, playing for the Dons.
Well, it's arguably about as strong as a back four that he can pick. Maybe you say Considine and McArdle could probably change in there again. I mean, Hartley's experience will be vital just in front. Won't really get around the pitch, but we'll try and just get Young and Milsom just working alongside him. Milsom's looked impressive in his short time at Aberdeen. Vernon's looked a decent player up front as well. He will be flanked by Aluko and Jack, although you do feel with Craig Brown, when they lose it, that will become a 5-man midfield.
Peter Houston will soon have Dundee United's defence of the Scottish Cup to worry about as they face Stuart McCall's Motherwell on Sunday. Before that, Aberdeen here tonight and Hamilton on Thursday. Craig Conway has made it for Dundee United, went through his paces just about 90 minutes before kick-off. And Aberdeen delighted to welcome back Xander Diamond, but will this be his final season for Craig Brown's team? The referee taking charge of his 9th SPL match of the season is Brian Winter, and his surname remains appropriate on a chilly Tayside night. A win for Dundee United would propel the Tangerines from 7th into 5th position, ahead of both Cali Thistle and Motherwell. An Aberdeen victory, and they would join United on 34 points, albeit with 3 more games played. Aberdeen in their change strips, all in white. Keith Watson over there at right back for Dundee United. His 27th appearance of the campaign. Douglas operating at left back. The last game against Cali Thistle, Peter Houston had to effectively field 4 fullbacks across the defence. As young Van der Meulen playing in front of Dusan Pernis this evening. And Craig, it should be competitive here at Tannadice tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty even matched. Obviously, Peter Houston's got the time factor ahead of Craig Brown. He's been here longer. First under Craig Levein and then obviously as manager, so he's had a better understanding of his players. And like always, Derek, a battle in midfield, both decent in that area.
Split back by David Goodwillie. Morgaro Gomes and Prince Bwaben attempted to get on the end of it. Prince Bwaben on target in Inverness after coming off the bench. The Ghanaian Sean Dillon, and it was aimless. Aberdeen well represented, as they usually are when it comes to matches here at Tannadice.
I just wonder if Dundee United's 3 in midfield, Derek, have got a little bit edge in terms of the legs and their ability to get about the field. Robertson, Bwaben, Gomez.
Scott Vernon trying to nod it on towards Shani Aluko. And Ryan Jack been impressive this season, the 19-year-old. Paul Hartley, the old stager at midfield. Quickly onto that one was Scott Robertson, wearing the captain's armband for United in the continued absence of both John Daly and Gary Kenneth. Followed by Stephen Smith, and sometimes the big boot will do. And that was applied by Sean Dillon. So from Dundee United, here's Good Willie. Showed too much of the ball to Xander Diamond. Hasn't scored in his last 4 matches. Good Willie. He didn't mind facing Aberdeen in the 2 previous meetings this term. Van der Meulen and Dillon, 2 of the obvious targets in the air for Craig Conway. Scott Robertson, who got his head to it. Pete Watson, straight to Shoni Aluko. Swanson was put under pressure. Aberdeen certainly want to avoid what's often referred to as the dead zone in the SPL, 7th or 8th position after the split. That's an awful lot to play for.
The dead zone.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Vernon waiting inside the penalty area, so to Jack. Driven in by Derek Young. It spins into the clutches of Pernice. Derek Young in his 2nd spell with Aberdeen. Play continuing. Followed by Prince Gwamin. Going in on Hartley. If Hartley is booked for Aberdeen tonight, he's likely to be looking at a 2-match ban. It's not a bad record against Dundee United, is it? Jamie Langfield, who was in top form for Aberdeen, needed to be against St Johnstone in the last game. Dons were hanging on, especially towards the end. Perhaps a bit fortunate to pick up a point. Aberdeen have recorded 4 successive clean sheets. Last 2 games have finished 0-0 against Hearts and St Johnstone. David McNamee with a long throw. He's trying to find Aluko.
Well, there's a bit of a gap between Sean Dillon and Van der Meulen, who cleared it in the end, but he cleared it with a low kick, so they allowed it to drop right into that 6-yard box there.
Rob Milsom to take it. Was an effective corner too. Well, that's a wonderful save by Pernice. Well, the whistle's gone.
I think it's Xander Diamond, goodness me.
Well, that's all Aberdeen need. Remember the game against Hearts that we covered recently? Rory McCardle. Now it's Diamond's turn.
That's a bad one. I mean, it's flush on that forehead there, just between the eyes. I mean, he heads it, and I think his momentum heads into. I think it's Dillon. It is. I wonder if Dillon's arm comes up there. I don't know. It's a great save anyway. We'll get another look at it here. Yeah, I think he actually heads in, puts his head into him, doesn't he?
Well, Diamond's going to have to be patched up.
Great reaction from Pernice there.
Yes, it was.
Just went, shuffled the feet, really.
Aberdeen for the moment down to 10.
Who was it the last time?
Rory McCardle.
McCardle, that's right, it was McCardle.
Here's the man who might well have to come on here. McNamee. As McCardle Ball goes through his paces. 5 stitches inserted in the head wound following the clash with Rudy Scatchell in the Hearts game.
I've noticed that in the games we've covered since Craig Brown's been at Aberdeen. I don't know whether it's us pitching up or not, but it's like the walking wounded at the start of every game.
It was that way against Celtic a few weeks ago as well.
I think he had 2 or 3 on that occasion that sort of were limping around in the first 20 minutes.
Swanson for Good Willie. He's being watched by Considine.
Yeah, Considine did well actually. It'll be interesting to see if Good Willie can outpace the 2 centre-backs down that channel. Considine didn't feel the need to really make a challenge there, just to usher him and continue to usher him slightly wider to create that difficult angle.
Andrew Considine, son of Dougie Considine, the one-time Aberdeen player. Aberdeen have lacked punch in their away matches this season in the SPL. Just 9 goals in 14 matches on their travels. Only the bottom 2, St Mirren and Hamilton, have been poorer in that regard. Barry Douglas, former Queen's Park player, his first season here at Tannadice. Dillon. Scott Robertson in front of the United defence. Hartley trying to get himself involved. Morgado Gomes used an arm as he tried to control it. Aberdeen, by the way, have gone 250 minutes of action without scoring. Not to end that drought.
On a happy note.
Well, maybe it will be a happy note soon, you never know.
You know how to get them going.
Langfield, a direct approach.
Notice you didn't say that to Craig Brown down in the touchline earlier when you were talking to him.
I'm sure you'll inform him later that I made the point.
Selective memory.
Stephen Smith back to Jamie Langfield. Smith on loan from Norwich. He's only 8 appearances the first half of the season in East Anglia. Wasn't too happy with life generally there. Here's Swanson and Good Willie. Was missed by Jack. It comes to Conway. Careless by Conway. Wilson trying to angle it forward. And the Diamond with the red headband. Douglas was down. Conway wanted to take it swiftly.
Another knock here. No, it's not an overly high boot, but the studs were raised. Alexander Diamond back on. 2 stitches we're hearing, and a rather quickly and hastily adapted headband, I would say, but if it does the job, it does the job.
Voted in by Conway. It was Robertson who got the touch.
Well, they've got in down that Dundee United down that right-hand channel on a couple of occasions. Good Willie in between Smith, the left back, and Considine. Obviously Diamond was off, so they had to reshuffle, but they've had a couple of nice interchanges out on that right side. Swanson into Robertson, little 1-2, and Good Willie has run that channel, looking to get in behind every time.
There's Diamond, and he went following through on Brabin, and a yellow card for Xander Diamond just seconds after he has returned to the fold.
Now I think he leaves his leg in here. I think Brian Winter is spot on. Now he wins this, but it's there. I mean, that's bad. In fact, I mean, I think that could be red. I mean, I don't want to say every time I see a challenge it could be red, but I mean that was right on the knee ligaments, and there was just, I mean, there's just no need to do it. He won the ball.
Sander Diamond, who's in the final season of his current contract. Speculation linking him with a few other clubs, including Hearts.
I was going to say he had a rush of blood, but
glad you avoided that one, Craig.
I just thought that was rather silly, really, because I mean, he just leaves the leg in here on Boabin, and that, I mean, depending what angle Boabin's leg is, and it's planted there, that could be a ligament job. That could snap your ligaments.
Diamond's 20th appearance against Dundee United. He scored 3 goals in the past against the Tangerines. Off the head of Vernon, Aberdeen's top scorer this season. It's broken up efficiently by United. Diamond's pass, Considine. Vernon. They're running through the two teams again. A couple of changes for Dundee United, likewise for Aberdeen. Paul Dixon not making it for United because of a sickness bug. Vernon. Slicing towards the ball. Down went Conway. Douglas. Roberto Gomes was casual, and Hartley was steaming through. And Dillon and Pernice. And almost 15 minutes gone. No scoring here on Tayside. Swanson bringing the ball under control. Trying to veer away from Stephen Smith. Well, Swanson going down right beside the touchline.
That'll be another booking, and it is going to be. Just completely outfoxed them there. Lured them in with a nice little trick right on that touchline. Experienced player, Stephen Smith. Seen the battles of and the pressure of playing in Old Firm games and the Goldfish Bowl of Glasgow.
The booking for Smith then, and here's why.
Yeah, it was nice little trick here. See you later. And that's 2 of the Aberdeen back 4 now in the book early.
Conway with the delivery. Well, it could have gone anywhere. Vernon was back there defending.
Well, it was a lovely ball in, and I'll say that. A little bit of holding as well was Considine, and it was Van der Meulen. Just come off Vernon. Nice whip on that.
Diamond there just before Vernon.
I think the problem from now is, and I've seen Sander Diamond play quite a lot over the last few years, he can be quite rash at times, and he's now given himself, I suppose along with Stevie Smith, he's now given himself a problem in terms of the challenges he can and can't make.
Derek Young a bit shaken up. And Douglas, difficult one for the left back to judge. Just thundering it up the pitch in the general direction of Danny Swanson. Stephen Smith. Vernon. Something to become the first Aberdeen striker to hit the 20-goal barrier since Duncan Shearer back in season 93-94. There's an inquiry about handball. Field. Excellent distribution, as it turned out.
Well, it was the one thing we noticed from the game Aberdeen played against Hearts was his distribution from both hand and from the ground. Jamie Lanfield was excellent. In fact, I think I said at that game he was the best passer of the ball on the field at the time. He had a couple of lovely early drop kicks out, right on the money.
This one near the end that very nearly bore fruit. Picked away by Hartley. There's Young. Helter-skelter start on this Monday night here at Tannadice. Dundee United 0, Aberdeen 0. Frank Brown was reminding me earlier that 51 years ago he signed as a player for Dundee, just a few hundred yards along the road. Bounces off referee Brian Winter. And here's Milsom. He's been a splendid addition to the Aberdeen squad. Rob Milsom, former Fulham player. One or two of the players out there treating the ball rather as though it were a hot potato. Van der Meulen in through the Ajax system. Wanted first team football. This is fourth appearance for Dundee United.
Well, I think such has been the frustration, and I've not got it out to Conway, that he's completely gone from this left side way over to the right there, just to try and get involvement in the game.
Vernon is tussling for it. Aluko is another of the Aberdeen players out of contract at the end of the season. Diamond in that category too. And Ryan Jack unable to get around Douglas. Used to work as a refrigeration engineer, Barry Douglas, when he was playing on an amateur basis for Queen's Park. Away goes Watson. And good Willie, glancing header. Not a million miles away.
No, but again, he's got, he's an Aberdeen defender, this time Xander Diamond, who is close enough, he's tight enough, he's touch tight, and he's just making it very difficult from the angle of his body. It's making it nigh and impossible to score from that angle, but again, just getting in front of a half-decent ball in. I won't call it half a chance, but at least to get in there.
Jamie Langfield began his career at Dens Park with Dundee. Tidy header by Dillon. Back to Dusan Pernis. What is it about goalkeepers from Slovakia in the SPL? And useful goalkeepers too. Marian Kello of Hearts, also a Slovak. Belted forward by Dillon. Considine with a header away, only as far as Robertson. Swanson. Sparks of natural ability. Danny Swanson, it's been an injury hit campaign for him. Shoni Aluko is fleet of foot. Ryan Jack. Here's Derek Young. He's thwarted by Douglas. And Young in a bit of distress. And the referee Brian Winters going over to have a look.
Well, there certainly wasn't anything wrong with the challenge. Because Boabin, the studs are showing, but it's just a natural sort of body angle. It leaves the ground a little bit. It's nothing massive. I think the studs catch him in the ankle.
Peter Houston a bit disappointed because Dundee United seemed to be onto something before the referee intervened. Well, a big night coming up on Thursday. You can see PSV against Rangers in the Europa League with us on ESPN and in HD. The first leg of that round of 16 tie from the Phillips Stadium.
Still complaining, Peter Houston.
Tumulty is the fourth official tonight.
I think they stopped play there, and that's what Peter Houston's asking. I think the reason he stopped was because the way he was banging the floor, Derek Young, it really did look as if he was in a bit of distress now. I think that's where the referee he's got to make a decision now. I'm completely against every time somebody goes down injured, unless it's a serious one, a head knock, that you stop the game. But I think just by his movement there, I think the referee was slightly concerned, and fortunately Derek Young's back on and he seems okay.
And Douglas, just before Derek Young this time. Harry Douglas coming off second best. One way back to Douglas. Diamond. Aberdeen have recorded just one victory in the last 9 meetings in all with Dundee United. Up for a ball by Watson. Considine with the clearance. Wilson digging in.
Yeah, it's all down, well, I'd say all. Anything Dundee United have had has been down that right side at the moment.
There's Conway, who had Diamond for company. Away in the end by Milsom. Like in the 1980s when Aberdeen and Dundee United were two of the most prominent teams, not just in Scotland but in European football. It's often be said that Aberdeen fared better here and United preferred playing at Pittodrie. It was uncanny.
Well, I mean, your memory's better than mine, but Dundee United went to the Nou Camp, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Did they win?
They did, as part of their run in 1987 in the UEFA Cup. That's off ahead of Diamond here.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? When you think about it, Dundee United, the ability to go to play Barcelona and win. Do you think times have changed?
Well, sadly, yes. Got all the way to the final of the UEFA Cup, lost to IFK Gothenburg, 1987.
Yeah, made some great players and homegrown players, fantastic.
And of course, one of them is actually on the Dundee United bench tonight, Paul Hegarty, the assistant coach.
We had a little chat with Paul just before the game, which is unusual because most of the coaches don't normally want to talk to me, which is understandable. But he's a lovely lad, Heggie. Very level-headed, although I've got to question that now.
Why do you think, Craig, they don't always want to talk to you?
I don't know, Derek, and to be honest, I'm not really bothered.
Quite right.
No, I don't normally go down there. I normally sort of stay away from that area. It's not my domain these days.
Diamond's accurate header to Young. Wilson tried to come into the move. Vernon, Young, Douglas was barring the way to goal. We shouldn't forget that Aberdeen won a European trophy under Alec Ferguson, as he was then, 1983, Cup Winners' Cup, the Real Madrid in Gothenburg. And Swanson, and here is Prince Boabin. Talk briefly about the shot. Scott Robertson. Willie.
Well, that's a high boot, and Considine.
Robertson was the player who went forward.
Well, I wonder if Robertson just ducked down a little bit. Considine's boot came up high. And just here, Willie flicks it on now. Yeah, no. Borderline.
Perhaps a bit of a let off for Aberdeen, and well, it doesn't look good for Sander Diamond. Deary me.
I mean, that's bang in the middle there, isn't it?
blood-stained shirt.
It's one of the worst.
That's the headband.
It's one of the worst things there as a player I found was stitches. I hated stitches. Just hated them. Occupational hazard for, especially for centre halves, really.
Swanson. Here's Gomez. Gomez has said he'll decide on his future come the end of the season. Douglas. To arrow it to Conway. And McNamee wasn't messing around for Aberdeen.
Well, I think when you're coming across as aggressive as this, you've absolutely got to be sure you're going to play the ball there, or you're giving away a penalty. It's as simple as that.
Still, they administer treatment to Diamond. Conway in the corner! Opening goal for Dundee United. Barry Douglas. The former Queen's Park man. Accurate header, beautifully placed. And Dundee United prosper with Diamond off the pitch.
Well, it's Sod's law, and I said that about, you know, Craig Brown in the early part of the game. It's a great ball in from Conway, but I know they're a man down, but that marking's awful. I mean, there's four Aberdeen players there in shot, and there's 3 Dundee United players not picking up.
His previous goal for Dundee United came in the recent match against Hearts. Alexander Diamond not being allowed to return to the action. Rory McCardle would be the obvious replacement. Well, it's a story of the two players who've had to be stitched up in recent games. McCardle and the 0-0 draw with Hearts. Diamond tonight here against Dundee United. Here's Jack. And Diamond's height certainly would have come in handy at that set piece. Aberdeen lacking a bit of organisation. And United through Douglas taking full advantage. Here's Prince Boivin. Concession of another corner by McNamee. And on now is coming Rory McCardle. Matching headbands. Diamond departs. Conway. Oh, it's off the post here. Morgaro Gomez. Deceptively good.
Well, Aberdeen just attempting to weather this storm at the moment. Ship 1 goal.
Final touch came from Langfield. Aberdeen having to withstand a fair bit of pressure here, exerted by Dundee United.
I just said on the tannoy that they've replaced Andrew Considine, but he's actually on the field.
Yes, that was a mistake on the part of the tannoy system.
Why have they replaced him though? Unless he's concussed. I mean, you can. I mean, if you can stitch it, you stitch. I mean, I'll spare you the details, but you stitch it and you get them back out. Well, let's have a look at this goal they lost anyway, Aberdeen, and there's certainly an incident in here. Paul Hartley at the near post gets bundled out of the way by Sean Dillon, just there, and then that leaves the huge gap in there, and Douglas puts it in. So I think they may feel aggrieved about that. I think they will feel aggrieved. Anyway, it has been missed by the officials.
There's so much happening inside the penalty area at the set piece, but as you said, Craig, Aberdeen will feel a bit hard done to, I'm sure, when they see it later.
Well, if he says that, I mean, it doesn't matter if the ball's 40 foot over his head, doesn't matter. It's a free kick, isn't it?
There's Van der Meulen. McNamee. Lackadaisical. Conway! Gave it real leather. Langfield unable to hang on. And Dundee United are 2 goals to the good. It was a belter from Conway.
Well, Conway struggled to get in this game really because he's on the left and all the play for Dundee United has been going down the right. Now, he is, I think, technically probably their best player. Had a fitness test prior to the game, played a great ball in for the corner, which Douglas scored from. That is a poor header there from McNamee. Very, very soft header. And I've got to say, it moves in the air. But it's a goalkeeper error. There's absolutely no getting away from that. Jamie Langfield should keep this out, even with the movement. Great strike, shouldn't have gone in. It did. Mountain to climb for Aberdeen.
Craig Conway enjoyed the moment. His second goal of the season as well. Previously on target against Hibs at the end of January. It's been a pretty familiar tale for Aberdeen on recent visits here to Tannadice. The last game here, the match was effectively over before it had properly got started. 3-0 down inside the first 10 minutes. 2-0 down here. Here is Hartley. And Ryan Jack, crisply struck. But Pernice flings himself at the ball.
Yeah, I think he's always got that near post Derek covered there. So that's handy for him. Maybe if they're going to cross the goalkeeper, he'd have had more difficulty there, but he was always nudging to that side.
Wilson with a corner for Aberdeen. Well, defeat for the Dons would just about effectively mean the end of their hopes of making it into the top 6.
Well, when it's going against you and you've had a defender off, a bad cut as Diamond did, and then they've had to substitute him. They brought McArdle on, they lost a soft goal, albeit Hartley was fouled. And then you've got to shut up shop for as long as you can and just try and gather yourself and organise yourself, but that was a poor goal to give away.
Well, green shoots of recovery were visible as far as Aberdeen are concerned in recent matches. Unbeaten in 4 games ahead of this one. It's a colossal task facing the Dons now. Langfield not helping the cause. Goalkeeper who is playing for his future. Well, Luco didn't quite have the legs.
I think you could say that about most of the Aberdeen players. They're playing for the future. They're not down there for no reason. And I've always said a lot of the guys have been at the club for quite a while now and underperformed. So I think they're all really on trial. No doubt about it. I think given the resources and the opportunity, Craig Brown would shuffle the pack quite a lot.
We're hearing that Xander Diamond's cut was too wide in nature. That was
too wide
the reason
for
the decision. Already had 2 stitches inserted, Greg.
Well, yeah, but you can still stitch it. It's obviously it's a time thing as well. And then obviously they've taken into account he's then going to have to head the ball again. So maybe in that respect it's a sensible decision from Craig Brown. I'm almost sure Xander Diamond would have wanted to have stayed on. Maybe that decision was taken out of his hands by the physiotherapist or the doctor.
Scott Robertson, the illegal challenge on Shonny Aluko. Dundee United brimming with confidence. On of a 2-0 lead. United trying to race towards a place in the top 6. Oh, good Willie. Swanson. Space for Watson to his right. Well, the deflected shot by Swanson. Better option might have been to use Watson. Aluko. Milsom. Stephen Smith out on the flank for the Rangers player. Aluko. A couple of shuffles by Smith. It's left to Hartley. Once again Douglas called upon for Dundee United. Here's Young for Aberdeen. Watson tried to deal with the threat. Smith. Now Hartley unable to make the connection with Scott Vernon, who is cutting a very isolated figure. Let's get the thoughts of the Dundee United assistant coach, Paul Hegarty. He's with Darrell.
Paul, you must be delighted with this start.
Delighted with the first half hour. For about 50 minutes, neither team really threatened each other. And then we got a goal, obviously a David Gourlay header, which was magnificent. And that settled us, but we're playing some decent stuff. And obviously the second goal with Craig Conway, he shot from, what, 25-30 yards. And you've seen the swerve in it. And obviously it's flummoxed Jimmy Langfield, but we're delighted just to be 2-0 up.
Barry Douglas will give credit for the first goal, but did you take advantage of the fact that Xander Diamond was off the pitch, you think?
Well, it's like everything else. You just got to try and capitalise when it does occur, and you've got to make sure that when you have 2-0 up, that you've got to capitalise and go for a third. But we've got to be sensible because we know what Aberdeen are like.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Legacy. Peter Houston's number 2. One-time Don's boss, of course. Didn't have the happiest of spells at Pittodrie. Here's McCardle, Northern Ireland international. It's emerged in the last day or so that Southend United made a bid for McCardle in the January transfer window, a bid that was turned down by Craig Brown. He's happy to inform the player concerned. McNamee with the throw. The last time United enjoyed a 2-goal lead in terms of the margin at half-time, you got to go back to the last home game against Aberdeen. 2-0 the advantage as we speak. Milsom tasked with taking the free kick. Considine's gone up, so to McCardle.
Well, he's run up pretty, Milsom. This little fancy shuffle and a weird sort of angle. It's almost like a rugby type Johnny Wilkinson. Let's have a look at this. There you go. I would maybe suggest changing that.
There's a deal with Aberdeen until the end of the season, Milsom. They would certainly like to extend that arrangement.
Yeah, he did, and Craig Brown has been impressed with him in all fairness. His general all-round play, quite tidy, gets around the pitch, decent on the ball, gives him a nice balance there, just slightly left of midfield, where they are playing three sort of narrow, very similar to Dundee United.
United have won 5 of the last 7 matches against Aberdeen here at Tannadice. Well on course for another success story against the Dons. Craig Brown and Archie Noakes will very shortly be able to point out to their players what has gone wrong and what they can do to improve matters. And McCardle dicing with danger.
Yeah, got lucky, didn't he? He's tried to nod it down to Stevie Smith, the left back, and just nodded it into Goodwillie's legs and got away with it. Just.
Goodwillie kept going, and no penalty. Goodwillie went down to begin with.
Yeah, just had a little dummy, Goodwillie, as if he was going to cross it in and just sort of poked it ahead. I think the referee played the advantage. That's what he did anyway. Whether he was going to give a free kick for an infringement, I don't know.
It's a game that does have the derby dynamic. This new firm meeting. Certainly not a case of two sets of players going about their business passively. Away by Smith. A bit of confusion all round here, but let's have another look at this incident.
Yeah, one or two soft shouts, nothing really wrong with that. Now, Paul Hartley just doing his job, little nudge, nothing in it whatsoever.
The ball hadn't, in fact, gone out of play, so handball the decision by Brian Winter.
I think he thought he had it. It was obviously spinning and probably felt it spun back in.
First half that has had its fair share of stormy moments. Remember, after the short break, we'll hear from Ray Stubbs with Stuart McCall and Scott Booth. Get their observations. They're going to have 2 added minutes. Keith Watson, who's had trouble with a dislocated kneecap for a good number of years now. First affected him back in 2007 ahead of the game against Celtic. Douglas unable to control it that time. Here's Conway. Ricardo had moved forward to follow Goodwillie. Robertson. And Wilson trying to close down Watson. A bit of confidence from Keith Watson. And he's won the corner.
Well, I can see them having a sniff at Aberdeen, possibly closing 2, but I think if Dundee United were to nick another one here, I think it would be a game, set and match. So it's only less than a minute to half-time. They absolutely have to take the responsibility here.
And Conway with it. Van der Meulen, the Dutchman, was trying to pose problems for Aberdeen.
Well, there's one thing for sure, that Dundee United players, when the balls are coming in, are getting there just ahead of Aberdeen defenders, which is not an ideal scenario for Craig Brown, and I'm sure him and Archie Noakes will be talking about that amongst other things for these players at half-time.
Conway. There's Boisben. Swanson found himself in the centre-forward position.
Yeah, better ball, and he's actually through there.
Swanson taking it away from Ricardo. Right on the 2-minute mark at added time now. Conway's had a fantastic first half. Set up the first goal, scored the second. Just about fell on the anywhere will do category. Away by Smith. And it's handball here. Boisben.
Well, you mentioned Conway. He had a bit of a frustrating start to the game, Derek, because nothing came down the left-hand side here, and everything Dundee United did and did well was going down that right-hand side. But it's been a very good first half for the home side.
Peter Houston's men getting all the plaudits. They lead by 2-0. Barry Douglas with the first, and then Jimmy Langfield unable to deal with a pile driver of a shot from Craig Conway. Craig Brown has some sorting out to do. At the break, it's Dundee United 2, Aberdeen 0.
This weekend, our live and exclusive coverage of the FA Cup continues with the quarter-finals. Birmingham v Bolton, Man United v Arsenal, Stoke v West Ham, and Man City v Reading. The FA Cup quarter-finals live this weekend on Setanta Sports. Sportingbet has you covered this summer. Sportingbet is offering the largest football markets available, including the FA Cup, Euro 2012 qualifiers, Serie A, and every major European league and cup competition. Sportingbet is available on the net at sportingbet.com.au, over the phone, and with sbet.mobi you can bet from anywhere on your mobile phone. That's why for football there's no better bet than a Sportingbet.
Dundee United 2, Aberdeen 0, the half-time score. News of substitutions ahead of the second half from the ESPN commentary team, Craig Burley and Derek Ray.
Thanks again, Ray. Yes, a change for Aberdeen. Josh McGuinness has come on for the ineffective Shoni Aluko. Aluko never really got going in the first half. Same can be said of so many representing the Dons here on Tayside.
4-4-2, and imagine Aberdeen. Vernon, McGuinness up front, Young gone to the right, Jack in the left, Milsom and Hartley in midfield. Change of shape, change of tactics. Let's see if there's a change of fortune for Aberdeen.
Dundee United well on top here, bossing this game, and with a chance of moving into 5th position in the Clydesdale Bank Premier League. It's a very busy week for the Tangerines. Peter Houston has spoken openly about resting players against Hamilton on Thursday. Of course, there's the big Scottish Cup quarter-final meeting with Stuart McCall's Motherwell on Sunday to contemplate. I'll tell you, by the way, that Xander Diamond has had additional stitches inserted in his head wounds during the interval. Derek Young for Aberdeen. Certainly was a first half horribleness for the Dons. We might well take the view that things can only get better. Dillon, the Irishman. Milsom, second bite at it. And Considine all the way up towards Vernon. Here's McGuinness, having just come on. Has been itching to play. Josh McGuinness. Craig Brown indicated before this match that he would feature in matches to come. And Conway up towards Goodwillie, who was offside.
Yeah, they've been quite keen to play offside. Confirmation of the teams has brought me a screen. They have been holding quite a high line. Aberdeen there, and little diagonal runs just in behind that one made from Goodwillie might just catch them if they don't get it right.
Stephen Smith. Josh McGuinness. Clever flick back. Deft bit of hurling as well by McGuinness into the bargain. Wabin. McNamee almost caught in no man's land. Conway has a go again. Conway's place was in doubt because of a thigh strain. And Swanson didn't miss by much.
Yeah, very similar to Conway in the way that he moves around the pitch, and also the striking of the ball. Conway lays him in, and again the movement from no backlift, the movement he gets in it, and the dip just at the end here almost does for the goalkeeper for the second time.
The United supporters in that Eddie Thompson stand trying to put off Jamie Langfield. Vernon is the recipient of the free kick. Aberdeen trying to give themselves a lift at the start of the second half of this new firm derby. In by Hartley, and Aberdeen appealing for the corner, which is given.
I wish you'd stop calling this the new firm.
You don't like that?
No, it's not a new firm. Whoever made that name up?
Well, it wasn't me.
You're doing your best to keep it going.
Here's Wilson. Sent it away by Douglas. Jack. McCardle offside. It wouldn't have counted as Considine tried to finish off the move.
Yeah, must have been quite close. McCardle at the back post. Well, his arm, and technically might have been his shoulder. Your arm, if your right arm's any part of the body that you can score a goal with, if it's in an offside position, then it's offside, and your arm doesn't count because you can't use your arm. So that was a very, I say, dodgy decision against Aberdeen there.
Darren Dodds, one of many injured Dundee United players at the moment. Struggling with a knee problem. A difficult one for Douglas to judge. Vernon, and McGuinness gives Aberdeen life. The substitutes. Right place, right time. Game on.
Well, the hesitation in this Dundee United defence is frightening. I mean, just look, a kick out, a free kick from Langfield. Douglas lets it bounce. Inexperience. You've got to deal with that there as a defender. You've just got to hook that clear. You don't wait in your goalkeeper. Anybody who watched the Carling Cup final the other week would have seen that at Arsenal. You just do your job. Vernon did absolutely brilliantly, just hooked it back, and there's McGuinness, substitute at half-time, just to nod it into an empty net. Great response from Aberdeen, pathetic defending from Dundee United.
Now it's Milsom. Oh, and Pernice, an excellent stop. It's given Aberdeen genuine confidence. That goal from McGuinness. Josh McGuinness, who in his football career has gone from outfield player to goalkeeper and back again. There's Conway, running almost the entire length of the Tannadice pitch. And sliced out of play by McNamee. Aberdeen trying to stay in contention for a place on the top six come the split. Not really avoid too many mistakes in the next few games. Hartley. Ryan Jack, the young Aberdonian. And Vernon bundled to the ground by Dillon.
I think it gets done by the bad touch here. I think Vernon has a poor touch. Just here, he miscontrols it, and that's it. There's nothing the defender can do about that.
This is Considine. McGuinness. And Van der Meulen couldn't afford to be fussy about where that went. Aberdeen enlivened. Certainly got the travelling band of Don supporters excited. McGuinness waiting inside the penalty area for Paul Hartley. And, well, it was Considine who did the leaping.
Well, no doubt they've had a bit of a rocket at half-time in Aberdeen. Fine save from Perlis here from Milson. And we hear there's going to be a substitution, I think, Dundee United.
And Shala is about to make an appearance. It could be Conway going off. It must be because of the thigh strain.
Yeah, wouldn't take him off for any other reason. Simple as that. He's a potential match winner.
Well, Craig Conway has more than played his part already, but unable to continue. Of course, Peter Houston will need him for the battles that lie ahead in the SPL and in the Scottish Cup. Andy Shala, born in Kosovo, grew up in Germany. He's known as a very fine cook amongst the Dundee United players. A few of them share a flat. He's often given the culinary responsibilities. Robertson for Dundee United. Too much lost. Well, they're complaining.
Yeah, they look to obviously make a response as soon as possible. That's what they did well in the first half, Dundee United. They picked a lot of those second balls up in there. He's obviously struggling, Conway. Risk and reward, I suppose, for Peter Houston. You play him, he's struggling a little bit. He's just strained his thigh again a little bit. He just told a reporter, Darryl Curry. But he's got the goal, Derek.
Yep.
So it is that risk and reward, isn't it? And I want to know, I'll go back in a minute, but how do you know about that cooking?
I have my sources.
I think you stand outside the window and have a little peer in, don't you? Although we won't go into that.
He's a very affable fellow, Andy Shala. Scott Robertson. His direct opponent was Derek Young. Busy night for Brian Winter. Off ahead of Smith. No joy for Watson. Very much a forward-thinking, forward-going right back. Scott Robertson. Here's Douglas, scorer of the opening goal tonight. .21 points out of a possible 36 for Aberdeen under Craig Brown. Neil Cooper right beside him there. Former Aberdeen defender. Here's Milsom. That's not the Neil Cooper that some of you will remember. It's the N-E-I-L Neil Cooper, not the N-E-A-L-E version.
Oh, yeah, well explained, Derek.
Here's Smith. Thought I'd better clarify that. Now, was the ball out?
Well, it's been a good response for Aberdeen. The game's very much back in the mixing pot, this one, that's for sure.
Hartley. Different Aberdeen now. Belief has been restored to Don's ranks. In Nick's McNamee. Considered quitting the game of football not so long ago, released by Plymouth last summer. Head flicked on by Shala. Here's Good Willie. Aberdeen, by the way, have taken just 1 point from a losing position in matches this season.
That corner always gets particularly boggy, doesn't it, down there? You got the answer to that? Why? I seem to know most other things tonight.
The general slope goes that way. There's McConnell and acrobatics! It was a brilliant effort by Good Willie, and really he deserved a goal.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was great adaptability here. Not great from Mikado from a defensive point of view, and I suppose when you're back to goal and it sets up, it's well worth the effort, and it was almost a spectacular inches from being a great goal.
Just to come back to that point about the money area, Craig, the general slope goes in that direction towards Arkley Street.
Yeah, it all goes down there, doesn't it? Yeah. It's always been the case here at Tannadice. I wouldn't say it's as bad as the slope at Motherwell, mind you, but it's not far behind it.
Play continues, and space for Danny Swanson. It is magnificent. Can't do much better than that. The two-goal cushion is restored. Langfield comprehensively beaten, and perhaps Aberdeen too.
Well, just getting yourself back in the game as Aberdeen have, and just not picking up runners really. When you have a look at it here. Again, I said earlier about this line that Aberdeen have tried to hold, and that diagonal runs, little diagonal runs, would be their undoing. Because if they don't get it right, and you haven't tracked the runner, you've got a problem. And that is a wonderful finish, absolutely wonderful finish. Technique, no back left hardly, on the half volley, which is a very, very difficult skill, and to get the direction. Terrific goal.
A goal by Danny Swanson in his 100th appearance for Dundee United, his first goal in almost a year. Jamie Langfield gave the impression that he didn't really see it.
Yeah, I said to you earlier, Derek, or I said in the commentary earlier, I didn't foresee that kind of goal, but I could see the diagonal runs or little runs from midfield getting in behind, because they played offside 3 or 4 times, Aberdeen, and just got away with it. And if you're not going to track runners, you've got to make sure you get it spot on.
There's McCardle under the gun. Good Willie trying to make life difficult for the Northern Ireland international.
It was a cracking finish, that, wasn't it, from Swanson? It really was. Keeper that on that occasion had no chance.
It's been a high-tempo affair, this.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's game over, far from. I think Aberdeen have got the bit between their teeth, have had in the second half, and we've got 2 up front, McGuinness and Vernon. So, far from over.
Well, Smith knew he had to get there. Just hooks it away before Prince Waddin could latch on to the ball. Douglas with the throw. Here's Shala. Oh, Langfield! Well, a Butterfingers moment.
Well, I needn't say anything really there.
Derek Young. Has Aberdeen tried to make it a contest again? Corner conceded by Dylan.
I think the problem with Jamie Langfield is I think he's either plays a spectacular game or he goes the other way. He's very rarely in between, and he has been playing well, but at the moment he's looking a little bit edgy.
It's the left foot of Rob Milsom. Vernon trying to knock it on. Jack. Comes on Douglas. McGuinness waiting for Hartley to take it. Dusan Pernice. Looking for a bit of protection from the referee, which now comes.
I think it's Vernon that just smashes him second time round. Under pressure from Mercado. Yeah, just the left arm, isn't it, really? As soon as the left arm goes across the chest of the goalkeeper, then almost every referee in the country is going to give a free kick.
Brian Winter has had plenty to keep him occupied.
I think he's done quite well, Brian Winter, actually, tonight.
He's been on top of most of the important incidents.
And I think it was hard for him to spot that the Hartley one for the first goal, where he was bundled over by Dillon about 3 yards out trying to defend the corner, which was certainly a free kick. He's going to be looking for a bit of help from his assistants on that occasion.
As we heard Stewart, Boothie and Ray discussing during the half-time interval, they were very close to that incident. That's where our studio's located here at Tannadice tonight, and even at first glance they didn't pick it up, only on the subsequent replays.
They were probably eating a pizza at the time or something. I was talking to Stewart before and I couldn't interrupt him from the sweets he was eating.
I hope he's not listening. Gomes dovetailing with Guabin. They have an excellent understanding of midfield, and here's Mulgaro Gomes. Shala has freedom inside the area. It almost worked out that time, with Douglas attempting to feed him.
Yeah, runners again from midfield. That time it was Gomes. Just getting in behind Hartley and Milsom. Giving the Aberdeen back four, centre backs especially, a problem. Do they stay with their man? Do they track the runner? Do they step out, try and play offside and get caught again?
Here's Shala. Swanson. What a corker of a goal that was from Danny Swanson to make it 3-1. Considerable craft. Mulgaro Gomes. Good Willie. Oh, Guabin. Touch of style here from Dundee United. Aberdeen back on the heels. Good Willie. Too much pace on the pass for Watson's liking. 20 minutes into the second half. It was 2-0 to Dundee United at the break. It's now 3-1 to Dundee United. Josh McGuinness briefly giving Aberdeen hope. Well, David Robertson is going to come on for Dundee United. He scored as a substitute in his last appearance up at Inverness. Touched on by Shala. This is Smith. Scott Robertson. Slack pass. Vernon almost got there. Dillon was taking care of the situation. Knowing that Danny Swanson is struggling with a slight ankle injury. That's why David Robertson will come on.
Yeah, he's just asked for 5 minutes. He wants to try and run it off. Peter Huston's out there having a word, so he wants to carry on. And having scored the goal he has, I can understand why. Problems for both wide players for Dundee United, with Conway already gone off injured. A recurrence of the thigh strain that he had a fitness test with before the game. He looks to be moving okay to me. The scorer of this fantastic goal. Look at the 30-yard run he makes on the diagonal. And the Considine unaware or unwilling to track the runner. One of the two. You can make your own mind up. What you can't debate is the quality in that strike, which was top notch. I wonder if Stevie Smith gave Considine a shout there to let him know that he was making a run. Don't know, we can't tell from gantry here, but he certainly should have been.
Scott Robertson is catching Derek Young. Scott Robertson, former Dundee player. Free kick for Paul Hartley to swing in. And McGuinness didn't quite get there. It's offside here against Swanson. Flag was up.
Yeah, just a little delay, I think, from Goodwill. And again, he would have been on just if it was played. If he played it early here, then there's acres to run in behind, and then once he does, he is half a yard off. But again, there was plenty of space where he could open his legs and go in behind.
There's McGuinness dragging Van der Meulen with him. Another effective jump by Josh McGuinness.
Yeah, looks quite a robust lad, doesn't he? Josh McGuinness is quite physically quite strong and relatively quick, and might be a handful. I think Craig Brown looking for a partnership for Scott Vernon, somebody that might be able to go in and work alongside him.
So David Robertson will now make his way onto the pitch. And Danny Swanson with the goal the United supporters won't soon forget. Blistering effort. His first goal in almost a year. Into his 100th appearance for Dundee United in all competitions.
Worth another look. We won't mention the defending, but what we can talk about is the great strike, and they've got two good wide players, Dundee United, and Swanson and Conway.
Here's Boabin. Dillon. Milsom. Aberdeen players have lost many of the battles in midfield. Full credit to the likes of Gomes and Boabin and Scott Robertson of Dundee United. McGuinness. There's Jack. Milsom. Douglas trying to be decisive.
Yeah, I love the ball in there. Maybe just a little bit overhit from Milsom, but I mean the idea was right, just to shovel it in early.
Xander Diamond. Now a spectator. Good to see he can still smile after sustaining that gash early in the game. Douglas with a header. Oh, the whistle goes. Free kick in favour of Scott Robertson. Let's go down to Darrell Curry, who's with Paul Hegarty.
Paul, 20 minutes to go, 2 goals up, but is this one of these games you just can't be too sure?
Well, we told them at half-time that Aberdeen would come out with all guns blazing. That's what's happened. And from our point of view, it was a cheap goal to give away, and they're back in the game. And for about 5 minutes spell there, Aberdeen were dominant. And then we got a goal from Danny Swanson from, 25 yards. Just
what a time to get it as well.
Magnificent half volley, and obviously, as you say, a great time to get. But up until then, you know, Aberdeen had crept back in the game and they had the ascendancy. But now we've got the 2-goal advantage, and we've got to make it count again by pressing, but making sure we shut the shop at the back door.
So you don't just sit back now, do you?
No, we can't sit back, but what we've got to do is make sure that we keep it nice and tight at the back and allow our midfielders and strikers to do what they're good at, which is going forward and hopefully scoring more goals.
Paul, thank you.
Thank you.
Dundee United looking comfortable again on this Monday night. Dundee United 3, Aberdeen 1. This game being played before a crowd of 7,416. Well, it's a weekend date. Aberdeen could be counted on to bring a couple of thousand, being a Monday night.
I found
my
my
1,000 range.
I found my niche in life.
And that is?
Holding that bit of paper with the attendance for you to read.
And you did it expertly, Craig.
I was a bit shaky, mind you.
Douglas. Hartley has gone over there to meet him. Problems in the end for Aberdeen. David Robertson was up there joining Shala. Twin attacking force. Jack Smith. Scott Vernon, the former Colchester player.
Well, there's going to be another positive move from Aberdeen. Blackman, the striker, stroke wide player. He's going to replace McNamee, a full-back.
If you listen to Aberdeen supporters, Craig, they'll tell you that Nick Blackman hasn't really performed to expectations since joining on loan from Blackburn. He was, of course, with Motherwell under Craig Brown in the first part of the season.
Well, he certainly did a good job for Craig at Motherwell, and that's one of the reasons he was keen to get him up here on loan again.
Craig Brown still looking for the ideal striking pairing. Vernon and Blackman, for whatever reason, haven't gelled as a partnership. Craig said it will be McNamee going off, the right back, and Blackman, the striker, making his way on.
Well, I wonder if he just sticks Derek Young back there to right back, because he's on that side. He is. Yep, he's just had the message. Get yourself back there. McGuinness out to the right, Vernon through the middle, Blackman on the left. Three strikers. Might as well have a pop at it. Nothing to lose.
Immediate activity for Blackman. An eagle eye on him was Keith Watson. Top six place for Aberdeen, slithering away. Blackman. Scored just one goal so far for the Dons. Nick Blackman came in the 2-0 victory up at Inverness. McCardle. Good Willie was right on top of him. Chat together with Douglas. Put himself very well at left back, Barry Douglas. Paul Dixon for Dundee United with a sickness bug. And a reminder that you can see PSV against Rangers live only here on ESPN on Thursday. We start at 5:30. That round of 16 first leg match in the UEFA Europa League.
Well, they went over to Sporting in Lisbon, and Sporting Lisbon and did the job, didn't they? I just wonder if they can... A bit different circumstances this time, because that was the second leg. They go to Eindhoven in the first, so they just to go over there and keep a clean sheet.
And Blackman is being held by Watson.
Yeah, got too tight there, Watson, just a little too tight. Big and strong Blackman, and just a little tug on the shirt.
Milsom. Hasn't been quite as dazzling as usual. Rob Milsom in this match. McCardle. Vernon. Here's McGuinness. And Josh McGuinness. Oh, Pernice. Corner.
I think he's initially offside just as the ball came in there, but because he didn't go for it, Vernon did. He's back free to join in the play here again. And he's looked quite lively, isn't he? And again, he's got that near post covered. Dusan Pernice, but just another little bit of pressure for Dundee United to try and make sure they see it out. 2 goal lead at the moment.
Milsom slips as he releases the ball. Bradley with it.
It's a foul throw.
That was a foul throw. Please the Aberdeen supporters. They seem to be in better voice when they travel to matches than they are at Pittodrie. His plans are afoot for a new stadium, the outskirts of the Granite City. Headed back by Dillon. Pernis, all the way up to Goodwillie, fielded by Langfield. Blackman. Here's Milsom. Tussle between Milsom and Scott Robertson, and Milsom felt that.
Yeah, he just sort of nudged him into the top of that board there, didn't he? And he's giving himself a bit of a sore one. Just because of the angle of his body when he goes in here. No need to nudge him there, really. He just catches him on the ribs.
Climbing under Considine, the offender. Can Dundee United conjure? What have they been working on in training over the past few days? It's Barry Douglas.
Penalty.
Smith, and a big shot for a penalty. Goodwillie going to ground. Brian Winter says no.
Yeah, Mercado. Well, he certainly got there first. I think he might have got away with one there.
Scott Robertson. So that ball might just have drifted out. Derek Young was fully convinced. They're continuing. Prince Plabin. Bradley doing the defending.
Let's have a look at this. Insert here this claim for the penalty. 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 It's contact. Contact in there. I'm sorry, Brian Winter, but you know he's clattered into Goodwillie. He hasn't played the ball. He's nowhere near the ball, and the striker gets there first. The left boot swings up straight across the hip area. Penalty.
And with Conway and Swanson now off the pitch, it's Douglas who takes the corner. Off the boot of Dillon. McCardle. Watson, dangerous game. Here's the lively McGuinness. And Josh McGuinness, a bit too straight to worry Pernis.
Yeah, always a difficult angle from there. He had Blackman at the back post on isolated with Watson for a little diagonal clip.
The flag has gone up. Goodwillie tries to continue. It was up a few seconds beforehand.
Well, I thought McCardle was a little bit deeper there. It was my first instinct, whether he was or not. This has got a better angle than I have.
It was a fine ball in the end by Scott Robertson. Andy Shala. Darting through Morgaro Gomes. crumb of consolation for Aberdeen tonight. Ended the sequence of minutes without a goal. 291 minutes in all by my calculation. It'll be fascinating to see what sort of team Peter Houston puts out against Hamilton later this week. I think he is set to ring the changes. Oh, Considine was in trouble. Good Willie, it all happened at pace.
Yeah, that's all from the kick out from the goalkeeper. So it's travelling the best part of 80 yards or 90 yards there, and you know, you've just got to defend better than that, haven't you?
Scottish Cup once again is important to Dundee United's season in terms of the prestige and also because of the influx of cash it can bring to the coffers. Ricardo and Landfield. A little bit more than 6 minutes of normal time remaining. Hasn't really been Langfield's night. The midfield players might be a bit frustrated based on the last few minutes. Spent a lot of time craning their necks.
Well, Aberdeen might as well sling it forward. They've got 2 strikers and 3 strikers on and squeeze the midfield up behind and just try and pick the bits and pieces up. Nobody says it has to be pretty, it just has to be effective.
There's Stephen Smith. Skimmed off the head of Dylan. McGuinness. Taking Gomes with him. He's done his own personal cause a power of good, Josh McGuinness, since coming on.
Yeah, he's looked quite lively. He's worked hard. Obviously, that's the first thing you've got to do. That's a given. He's got his goal, which will give him a bit of confidence as well. And as I say, he's a big, strong lad.
There's Considine. Asking an awful lot of Aberdeen now. Here's Vernon. Blackman's waiting inside the 6-yard area. Derek Young. Scott Vernon. And Blabber into reverse gear to Douglas. David Goodwillie. Will be a Dundee United ball. Scott Robertson looking up to see which players have made the run into the box. Shala is in there, now having to drift back. Prince Boabin. Sean Dillon managed to solve the problem. Good Willie. Back by Boabin to Douglas. Gomes. Johnny Russell's going to make a brief cameo appearance late in this match for Dundee United. Boabin, Gomes!
Good block, Considine. Good play again. Again, it's midfielders from Dundee United getting forward, in behind and beyond. Something I think they've done particularly well tonight, better than Aberdeen have.
Watson tries to take charge of the situation.
Just a little footnote on today. I know you commentators are very professional, especially yourself, Derek, very prudent in your work, but you found time today to deliver a carpet.
I was afraid you were going to bring that one up.
How does that work? On your way here, you've gone and done a bit of carpet fitting.
And in Broughty Ferry to boot, I should add. I'll tell you about the substitution first. Johnny Russell is coming on for David Goodwillie. Fantastic effort leading the line by the 21-year-old.
Yeah, he did play very well again, Goodwillie and sharp, and just looking to get down the channels and always on the move, giving defenders and centre-halves a problem, and almost scored that spectacular goal not too long ago, the overhead kick from about 6 yards out that clattered the upright.
Scott Robertson, Vernon, the man who went down. There's Douglas. Off Shallah's head. And David Robertson has to be careful.
You didn't think you were going to get through the game without that carpet mentioned. You knew I was going to leave it late.
I had a feeling.
You're not going to tell me anything from now on, are you?
My lips are sealed.
You're learning quick.
Maybe a season and a half too late.
Well, I think you've got to say Dundee United have been value for it. You can't, as Aberdeen have, make the mistakes that they have and defence and been a bit sloppy. Obviously the Diamond issue with a bad cut and he was off trying to get it stitched up and they couldn't manage that. He had to be substituted. That was a big problem for them at the corner kick. I think United have been slightly the better side, and certainly in midfield, where I just think they've had the legs on Aberdeen.
The United are going to move up into fifth. They're going to jump clear of both Inverness, Cally Thistle and Motherwell. Motherwell on goal difference. Things are going to look very bleak for Aberdeen in terms of their push for the top six. The main priority when Craig Brown came into the job was to avoid relegation. It was a dire predicament they found themselves in. McArdle, Langfield, as we inch towards the 90-minute mark. We will have 3 additional minutes. Considine. There's McGuinness, one bounce into the clutches of Dusan Pernis. After the final whistle here on ESPN, Darryl Curry with all the important interviews. Ray Stubbs in our Tannadice Park studio with Scott Booth and Stuart McCall. And we're not rushing off the air tonight, so settle back and stay with us. Stephen Smith. And Scott Robertson. Sharma looking a bit befuddled. Offside flag going up. Raised by Graham Chambers, the near side assistant referee. Dundee United still believe they can pip Kilmarnock for 4th. It's asking too much, I think, of anybody to catch Hearts in 3rd. They've had all these games in hand, Dundee United, because of the severe weather back in the month of December especially. It's the start of a run of 5 home games in 12 days, including the Scottish Cup quarter-final meeting with Motherwell. By Considine. Will be an Aberdeen throw. McArdle. And he saw Langfield a bit short. Skillful play by Langfield. Johnny Russell recently extended his deal here at Tannadice. Dundee United have fully deserved this triumph. Aberdeen well beaten in the end, and just as it was when these two sides crossed swords at Tannadice earlier in the campaign. It's finished 3-1 to Peter Houston and company. Josh McGuinness pulled one back for Aberdeen after coming on as a substitute. But then a rocket of a shot from Danny Swanson, rendering Jamie Langfield helpless. It's finished Dundee United 3, Aberdeen 1.
Thanks.
This weekend, our live and exclusive coverage of the FA Cup continues with the quarter-finals. Birmingham v Bolton, Man United v Arsenal, Stoke v West Ham, and Man City v Reading. The FA Cup quarter-finals live this weekend on Setanta Sports.
Subscribe to Ovation, Australia's arts and entertainment channel, for an amazing insight into the world of arts, music and culture. Call 1300 682 846.